Twisted Barbell channel. Checking in. What's good, everyone? I'm Marcus.
Come on, Marcus. It's my channel. I'll do the introductions. The No Fate channel. Checking in. Jonathan here with Marcus from Twisted Barbell, and today we are going to be doing a head-to-head comparison on Rep Fitness's Selectorized Lat pull-down and low-row power rack attachment against their newest Athena functional trainer power rack attachment. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome aboard. I cover men's health, fitness, and every week I review new pieces of home gym equipment. And this week we've got a special guest.
Many of you have money for one and only one of Rep Fitness's newest pulley systems. We're going to go over some pros and some cons to help you choose the best one for you, getting the best bang for your buck.
Rep Fitness's brand new Athena is literally a functional trainer that sits inside your power rack, taking up absolutely no additional space. Now, at first glance, it has a 170-pound weight stack with a 2-to-1 ratio. You can upgrade that weight stack to 220, meaning that each side is going to feel like 110 pounds. But don't let that weight fool you. It can go much heavier than that. The cable can hold up to 540 pounds of weight so that you could clearly, easily add a gym pin and a whole bunch of extra weight on the side. And they designed it to be able to have bands. That's right, you can add bands for additional resistance like that. The Athena has a full and complete range of motion. Everything you would expect from a functional trainer at your local gym is packed into the Athena. As far as height options, you can adjust that handle all the way from the top of your power rack to the bottom, meaning you can do all the different exercises you can handle in between. As far as the width, it is going to be a bit more narrow than your typical functional trainer, but at 6'1", 190, I can still do cable flies, no issue, and no deviation from my normal range of motion. In life, you need to pay to play.
Pay that man his money.
And the Rep Fitness Athena comes in with that 170-pound dual stack at $1,800 delivered. Now, you can't upgrade that stack to 220. As I mentioned, that is going to be $2,120 on the dot. Keep in mind that's still below almost every functional trainer out there in terms of cost.
So the first benefit to the Selectorized Lat low row system is the weight stack, which is 200 pounds at a 1-to-1 ratio. That ratio is important because when you load the pin in at 100 pounds, you're pulling 100 pounds. If you load it at the very bottom at 200 pounds, you're pulling 200 pounds. The next benefit to the Selectorized Lat low row system is that you can implement it with only a 4-post rack like I have here. Whereas with the Athena, you require 6 posts, and I couldn't be squatting in this location if I had 6 posts on this rack. The lack of the 2 extra rear posts allows me the freedom to move in and around my rack without being impeded by an extra post and limiting the space that I have behind the rack. And that can be really important when you have a small space for your home gym like I do here. The other great thing is you have a single center pull point like this, where you can do all kinds of exercises from a single point rather than multiple locations around the rack, which can complicate things for movements. This gives you the freedom of being right near the weight stack. So when you're doing one of my favorite things like drop sets, you can simply come in, move the pin, and go into your next set without any trouble or having to get up from your position and move back over to the weight stack to adjust the pins. Huge benefit and huge time saver. Not only is it a single centralized pull point, but you're directly underneath your pull point, and you don't have to do any of your pull exercises from an awkward angle or even from the floor. I'm seated comfortably on my bench and I'm directly underneath it. I don't have to take any weird awkward angles because I can be right where I want to be. Besides the upper location that I already demonstrated, you have the low point, which you can do various exercises with, like bicep curls, shrugs, or something like this, which I don't do much of. And of course you have the low row position for low rows and various other exercises. The beauty of a well-designed pulley system lies in the versatility you get with the variety of exercises. Sky's the limit when it comes to what you can do. Only your imagination limits you.
I want you to go into every home gym purchase with your eyes wide open. And that's why I want to give you just a few details about the Athena so that you know what you're getting yourself into before you hit that buy it now button. As far as additional costs, obviously if you don't have a 6-post power rack, that is going to rack up the price because you have to buy 2 more posts and 4 more cross members. If you are using your power rack for weight storage, please keep in mind you will lose 2 inches on your weight horns because the Athena has to operate smoothly with clearance. Don't worry, they are going to give you those spacers so you're not going to have to just eyeball it yourself. The second most frequent question I get asked after if you can do flies in the Athena is the pull down situation. First and foremost, if you want to do pull downs and you've got the low boy, the 80-inch power rack, you're doing them from the floor. You're just not going to have enough clearance otherwise. The other issue with the pull down is that it is going to be at an angle. Typically with your lat pull down and low row machines, the weight is directly overhead, whereas this is going to be coming at you from a little bit of an angle. It's not a deal breaker, but it's something you need to be aware of because it's going to slightly be different than what you're used to. The other thing to be mindful of with regards to pull downs is physics. When you go really heavy, you have to have something to hold you down. And currently, there's really no specifically designed attachment to do just that.
Now let's talk about some of the cons with the lat low row system. Of course, having just the upper and lower points, it lacks the multiple pull points that you get with the sliding rail system like the Athena comes with. Also, the fact that it only has an upper and lower centralized pull point means you can't do dual arm exercises like flies or crossovers and such. Another con, if you will, is the requirement of the rear bar stabilizer, which adds extra cost because you can't use the Selectorized Lat low row system without it, whereas the Athena doesn't require the rear bar stabilizer. Now when it comes to price, for simplicity's sake, we'll consider that you don't already have a plate-loaded lat low row system. This Selectorized system outright costs $1,300 or $1,420 if you do need the rear bar stabilizer. Finally, my last potential con is the 200-pound weight stack, but you can upgrade that to 300 pounds for an extra $300, bringing your total weight to 300 pounds at a 1-to-1 ratio. And of course, you do have the band pegs where you could add some additional resistance with bands, or perhaps hang some weight plates from those band pegs, or use a gym peg to add a weight plate to the front of the weight stack.
Time out. I need to thank all of you for using my affiliate links, which are in the description of today's video, and all the proceeds from those links do help support the channel, and of course they go right back into future reviews for you.
Now, having given you the pros and the cons for both systems, it's time.
It's time for Fate of the Union, where I give you my final thoughts on which one I would get if I could only get one. And the real answer, the smart answer, and frankly, the smart money is on the dual stacked Athena with the extra weight. Why? Well, of course it costs more, but you're getting what you pay for. You're getting a whole host of extra exercises at all different height ranges. You're able to do your cable flies. You're able to do 2-arm lat pull downs, 2-arm rows. You're able to do belt squats, curls, tricep extensions, overhead tricep extensions, everything you could think of, 1-arm lateral raises, 2-arm face crossovers, face pulls, you name it, you can do it. And if you want to utilize just a single stack and save yourself some money, you absolutely can, because the resistance you can add on to that thing basically negates that 2-to-1 ratio. The only caveat, the only hindrance is going to be a lat pull down, which you can still do. It's just going to be not exactly the same as you would get at a local gym, and it's going to be at a slightly different angle. That's it. If you were thinking of going with the lat pull down and low row attachment only because of that price point, guess what? I got you covered. You can buy one single stacked Athena with the extra weight, and you are going to get every exercise I just mentioned except for the cable flies. That's it. And when the other funds come in, when those tax returns land in your bank account, you can pick up the other side of the Athena, chop chop lollipop.
You have to ask yourself, what is it that you intend to get out of a pulley system in your home gym? Do you really need the flexibility that comes with having dual arm exercises? How often do you think you'll be using dual arm exercises? I've been happy and content with all of the versatility that I get from the single pull points that comes with the lat low row selectorized system.
I want to know from you, Comment down below which of Rep Fitness's latest attachments are you going to be picking up.
So Jonathan and I both know that money is a huge decision-making factor, but we hope the pros and cons that we laid out here can also help you choose the right system for you. 3 different systems, there's plenty to choose from, and one is guaranteed to fit you perfectly and give you all of the versatility you need in your own home gym.
Marcus and I, yeah, we're best friends, like band of brothers, Tom Brady and Super Bowl rings. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. As usual, don't save anything for the trip back.
Well, geez, guys, why don't you send me an invite next time?